Hello and welcome to Big Orbit's unboxing video of the new Magic the Gathering set, Throne of Eldraine. My name is James and today I'll be going through this booster box, showing you what's inside, hopefully getting some good stuff, and maybe some extended art cards. So, let's see. So, I don't know if these are... No, they're not codes. Okay, so they're just the tokens, and then we have Garen Brig Carver, Eye Collector, Jousting Dummy, Thrill of Possibility, Weaselback Redcap, Fairy Godmother, or Guidemother, sorry, Return to Nature, Run Away Together, Bake into a Pie, really nice card, destroy target creature and create a food token, Barge In, Order of Midnight, Savvy Hunter, Sir Conrad the Grim, Witch's Vengeance, and an island. So the food tokens, as you can see here, are pay 2 and tap it, sacrifice this artifact, you gain 3 life. So on its own, not amazing, but with some of the cards it does have synergy and you get some extra benefits for it. And we also these ones, I forgot to mention, I think I did go through an adventure card. Yes, so we have these new adventure cards. So you can pay the sorcery, and then you exile it from the game, and then you can pay its other mana cost to bring it back. So it goes on an adventure, and then it comes back as a creature, which is really nice. So this is just a token to put your card on it saying it's on an adventure. We have Dwarven Mine, Hengewalker, Beloved Princess, Rosethorn Halberd, Ogre Errant, Fairy Guidemother, Garen Briggs Squire, Wishful Merfolk, Wicked Guardian, Kenrith's Transformation, Oakhame Ranger with the special artwork. Some of the adventure cards will have this more sort of, I guess, fairy tale artwork, and it's really, really nice. Beanstalk Giant, Piper of the Swarm, Swamp, and a foil Fairy Guidemother. So, Roving Keep, Wildwood Tracker, Idyllic Grange, Opt, Bartered Cow, Rosethorn Acolyte, Unexplained Vision, Lash of Thorns, Ogre Errant, True Love's Kiss, Skullknocker Ogre, Archon of Absolution, Wintermoor Commander, Murderous Rider, which is a really nice card, and it gets the alternate artwork. So destroy target creature or planeswalker, you lose 2 life, that's just for 3, pretty good. And a 3 again to play it. Lifelink, when Murderous Rider dies, put it to the bottom of its owner's library, and it is a knight, so there's lots of knight support in this deck, in this set, sorry. I believe there is a way to search for knights, so you can put him away and then bring him back. Then planes, and a rat token. Crushing Drawbridge, Gingerbread Cabin, Fling, Prophet of the Peak, 7 dwarves. You can have up to 7 cards with the same name as 7 dwarves in this really nice little theme. Flood Fox, Outmuscle, So Tiny, Lockwayne Paladin, Weaselback Redcap, Inquisitive Puppet, Bog Naughty, Elite Headhunter, Midnight Clock, Forest, and Food. Forever Young, Knight of the Keep, Prophet of the Peak, Outmuscle, Witching Well, Foreboding Fruit, Embereth Paladin, Ardenvale Tactician, Insatiable Appetite, Cauldron's Gift, Ferocity of the Wilds, Resolute Rider, Dance of the Manse, return up to X artifacts and or non-aura enchantment cards, each with converted mana cost X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. If X is 6 or more, those permanents are 4/4 creatures in addition to their other types. And Forest, and a foil swamp, and a human rogue. Bloodhaze Wolverine, Dwarven Mine, Memory Theft, Hedgewalker, Didn't Say Please, and Giant Skewer. I really like this one. Equipped creature gets +2/+1. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a creature, create a food token, and its equip cost is 3. So it's not the best thing in the world. It's pretty good, but I just really like the idea of turning your opponents into food like that. But it doesn't even have to kill them, which is interesting. Searing Barrage, Flutterfox, Tunevale Treefolk, So Tiny, Frogify, Claim the Firstborn, Mad Ratter, Gadwick the Wizard. So he has, when he enters the field, draw X cards, and whenever you cast a blue spell, tap target non-land permanent an opponent controls. So even though you could just pay 3 and you get a 3/3, that's even without the draw, that's alright, because if you can, on that turn, on the same turn, just play a load of spells, just tap all your opponent's guys down and go in for the kill. Then we get a swamp and a wolf token. Moonlit Scavengers, Silver Flame Squire, Blow Your House Down, Mystic Sanctuary, Lochwain Paladin, Brimstone Trebuchet, Silver Flame Ritual, Return to Nature, Mistford River Turtle, Fairy Vandal, Thunderous Snapper, Lucky Clover, and Torbran, Thane of Redfell. So if a red source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much +2 instead. And then we got Plains, Foil Elite Headhunter, and no token, unfortunately. Lochwain Gargoyle, Wildwood Tracker, Rimlock Knight, Mantle of Tides, Barrow Witches, Ginger Brute, Raging Redcap, Shining Armor, Insatiable Appetite, Unexplained Vision, Glass Casket, Cauldron Familiar, Drown in the Loch, and Brazen Borrower. So this is a very popular one. He's got Petty Thief for 1 and 1 blue. Return target non-land permanent to an opponent controls to its owner's hand. And for 3 cost, Flash, Flying, Brazen Borrower can block only creatures with flying. But still, with Flash, you can bring it out and then attack with it next turn, or if there is just flies, then that's his specialty, I suppose. And then get some Human Cleric. Okay, can go through these a bit quicker now that we've seen most of them. Lonesome Unicorn. Then Mystical Dispute, Fireborn Knight, Sir Conrad, Giant Killer. So chop down for 3, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater, and he's a 1 cost with pay 2 and tap target creature. Mountain, and a very nice foil Tunevale Treefolk with the alternate art. Okay. Joust, Heraldic Banner, Mara Leaf Pixie, Lovestruck Beast, Island, Foil Rally for the Throne, and an On an Adventure. Righteousness, Giant Opportunity, Edgewall Innkeeper, and Linden the Steadfast Queen. She has Vigilance. Whenever a white creature you control attacks, you gain 1 life. So, preferably just get out as many little human tokens or maybe small knight tokens as well. And just go a bit aggro on them and then just keep gaining life. Ooh, oh, that's not what I thought it was. Sorry. Venerable Knight, Embereth Shieldbreaker, Savvy Hunter, Rankle Master of Pranks. So 4 cost 3/3, Flying Haste. Whenever Rankle Master of Pranks deals damage to an opponent, choose any number. So each player discards a card, each player loses 1 life and draws a card, each player sacrifices a creature. Now I know that sacrificing a creature isn't really much of a cost because fairies can fairly easily make fairy tokens, small fairy tokens. So just feel free to kill your 1/1 fairy, and if they've just got big things, then they're suffering a lot more than you. Plains and a human. Prized Griffin, Witch's Cottage, Vantress Paladin, Smitten Swordsmaster, Fierce Witch Stalker, Sokara the Bold. So whenever Sokara the Bold or an instant or sorcery you control deals damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You may play this card, and you can tap her to deal 1 damage to any target. So pretty nice actually. She's a 5 cost, so it's quite pricey for a 3/3, but it allows you to essentially draw more cards in red, so it's pretty good. Wandermare, Enchanted Carriage, Questing Beast. So Questing Beast is a 4 with 4/4, Vigilance, Death Touch, and Haste. Questing Beast cannot be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented, and whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker that player controls. So you don't have to think whether you're going to attack your opponent or the planeswalker, because with this you can do both. So that's incredibly useful. And planes, barge in and on an adventure. So Rosethorn Halberd. I've seen most of these, so I'll borrow Barrow Witches, Gingerbrute, Shining Armor, Trail of Crumbs, let's just straighten that pile up, Sorcerer's Broom, Inspiring Veteran, Once Upon a Time. If this spell is the first spell you've cast this game, you may cast it without paying the mana cost. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature or land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So just a really nice little, guess you could fill your, if you have nothing else to put in your deck, nothing that actually helps your deck, just put this in, and it's just an easy way to filter things, like just any draw spell really, but a bit more range of things. And a fairy token. Golden Egg, Merchant of the Veil, and a Veil Paladin, Bake into a Pie, Sage of the Falls, Spinning Wheel, Inspiring Veteran, Wicked Wolf. Whenever Wicked Wolf enters the battlefield, it fights one of your opponent's target creatures you don't control, so up to 1 target creature you don't control. Sacrifice a food, put a +1/+1 counter on Wicked Wolf, it gains indestructible to the end of turn, and tap it. And then mountain and food. Okame Adversary, Redcap Melee, Sorcerer's Broom, Folio Fancies. Players have no max hand size. X and X, tap, each player draws X cards. 2 and blue, tap, each opponent puts a number of cards equal to the number of cards in their hand from the top of the library into their graveyard. And Swamp. Order of Midnight. Overwhelmed Apprentice. Improbable Alliance. Sorcerer's Spyglass. As Sorcerer's Spyglass enters the battlefield, look at an opponent's hand, then choose any card. Activated abilities of sources with that chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. Tournament Grounds, Glass Casket, Foulmire Knight, Return of the Wild Speaker. So choose one, draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control, and non-human creatures you control get +3/+3 until the end of the turn. Then a mountain, and a foil Lovestruck Beast, and some food. Okay, Belle of the Brawl, Shambling Suit, Grumgully the Generous, Sorcerer's Spyglass. Into the story, Lock Dragon, Sir Farron the Hedgehammer, and Ayara, first the Lockwain. So whenever Ayara or another black creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And then tap, sacrifice a black creature, draw a card. And then Island, and Slaying Fire, Rally for the Throne, Clockwork Servant, Lockmere Serpent, so flash, and pay blue, sacrifice an island. Lockmere Serpent can't be blocked this turn, or black, sacrifice a swamp. You gain 1 life and draw a card. Or blue-black, exile 5 target cards from opponent's graveyard, return Lockmere Serpent from your graveyard to your hand, activate this ability only anytime you can cast a sorcery. And a foil Linden, and a mouse. Epic Downfall, Claim the Firstborn, Oakham Ranger, Castle Embereth. So Castle Embereth enters your battlefield tapped unless you control a mountain. You can tap it to get 1 red, or pay 1 and 2 red, tap. Creatures you control get +1/+0 until the end of the turn. And a mountain, and on an adventure. Frogify, Mad Ratter, Arcanist Owl, Charming Prince. Whenever Charming Prince enters the battlefield, choose one. Scry 2, you gain 3 life, or exile another creature you own, return it to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of your next end step. Island and Knight. Mystical Dispute, Deathless Knight, Foulmire Knight, Sundering Stroke, Forest, and Food. Burning Yard Trainer, Once and Future, Arcanist Owl, the Magic Mirror. This spell costs 1 less for each and every. For each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. You have no max hand size. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a knowledge counter on the Magic Mirror. Then draw a card for each knowledge counter on the Magic Mirror. Spectre Shriek, Covetous Urge, Sir Alan the Lion's Claw, Charming Prince, Island, and On an Adventure. Garenbrig Carver, and I shouldn't talk through these because we've seen most of them before. Shepherd of the Flock, Revenge of Ravens, Lucky Clover, Stolen by the Fae. Return target creature with converted mana cost X to its owner's hand. You create X/1/1 blue fairy creature tokens with flying. And Plains, Epic Downfall in foil, and On an Adventure. Fairy Vandal, Shine Chaser, Ferocity of the Wilds, Hushbringer, Flying Lifelink. Creatures entering the battlefield or dying don't cause abilities to trigger. Forest and Dwarf. Forever Young. Go through these. Oakham Adversary, Righteousness, Rampant Smasher, Giant Killer, in the alternate artwork. We have seen this before. Destroy target creature with 4 greater power. And Swamp and Mouse. Joust, Mysterious Pathlighter, Maraleaf Pixie, Stone Coil Serpent. Reach trampled, protection from multicolored. Stone Coil Serpent enters the battlefield with X/1/1 counters on it. So right off the bat you can just pay 1 if you wanted to, just to get something that can either protect you from flying or has the protection from multicolor. Really, really good. Well, really good for whatever cost you want it as, really. And Plains and a Boar. Animating Fairy, Keeper of the Fables, Steel Claw Lance, Gilded Goose. Flying, whenever Gilded Goose enters the battlefield, create a food token. And 1 and green, tap, create a food token, and tap, sacrifice a food, add 1 mana of any colour. Plains, and Thrill of Possibility, and all the other commons. Shepherd of the Flock, Mysterious Pathlighter, Lock Dragon, Mirror Maid. So you may have Mirror Maid enter the battlefield as a copy of an artifact or enchantment on the battlefield. Then Forest and On an Adventure. We are nearing the end of the packs now. Cauldron Familiar, Giant Opportunity and Spinning Wheel, Fires of Invention. You may cast spells only during your turn, and you can cast no more than 2 spells each turn. You may cast spells with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of lands you control without paying their mana cost. Then a mountain and food. Cauldron's Gift, Witch's Oven, Resolute Rider, Oathsworn Knight. So Oathsworn Knight enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters on it. Oathsworn Knight attacks each combat if able. If damage would be dealt to Oathsworn Knight while it has a +1/+1 counter on it, prevent that damage and remove 1 +1/+1 counter from it. Then we have a Swamp, a Foil Plains, and a Giant token. 7/7. Go through these. Archon of Absolution, Flaxen Intruder, Sir Eleonora the Discerning, Castle Loctwain. Castle Loctwain enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a swamp. You can produce 1 black or pay 1 and 2 black, tap it, draw a card, and you lose life equal to the number of cards in your hand. Then Forest, Memory Theft in foil, and Food. And finally the last pack. So Opt, and the rest. Revenge of Ravens, Turn into a Pumpkin, Hypnotic Sprite, Castle Ardenvale. So Castle Ardenvale enters tapped unless you control planes. It can make white. You can pay 2 and 2 white, tap it, create a 1/1 white human creature token. Then an island and a rat. So that is everything for this box. We did get some really nice stuff with the Questing Beast and Rankle as well. And also the Brazen Borrower. Those are all pretty good. And yeah, let me know your feelings on this set. I know a lot of people really like the theme of this set and really like the cards, so I hope you do too. And let me know your favourite card from this set as well. I will be doing unboxing videos for the collector's set and the bundle and the 2 Planeswalker decks, so be sure to check those out if you're interested, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!